Good day, YouTube. Today is the 6th of January, 2018. It's going to be hard for me to remember that one for a while. 6th of January, 2018, we have the Boyertown step van in the shop. We've made a lot of progress with it so far this winter. The next big thing that I want to tackle is the rust around the window. This is the last of the major repairs, and then the rest of it's, is kind of finish up all the other projects on this thing. But that has to be repaired. For that, I have to pull a glass. But I got to pull the glass anyway. This rubber here feels a lot more like plastic. It is not pliable at all. I'm not sure just how I'm going to get that out of there. There is a spline right there. This is a one-piece gasket. There's a spline right there. I will try to pull the spline, but I really think it's not going to work. I'm going to try a hot knife. I'm going to try a regular knife. I'm going to try anything I can to get that glass out of there. I do have some delamination in the glass. Before I put the glass back in, I'm going to price what it would cost to, this is all flat glass, to have the glass replaced. I'll pull it, I'll go get some glass cut and put it back in. I did a lot of shopping online over the past year that I've had this thing for like this rubber gasket, and just FYI, the best place I found to get it was direct from Trimlock. Bought 100 foot, but it is between 50 and 100% cheaper. I mean, you would pay 1.5 to 2 times the money to buy this gasket somewhere else. So I kind of bought it factory direct from Trimlock. There's 100 feet of it there. But there's a lot of windows in here. There's one in the door. That's less than 3 feet, but call that 3, 6, 9, 12. That's 10 to 12 feet. That's 10. That's 20, 20, and the other one window that's built in like that. But having extra, you had to buy it 100-foot roll to get the price, which is cool. Having extra is not an issue. I'll just wander over here real quick and show you my Cushman, which actually uses the same rubber seal, and that's 3, 6, 9, 12. That's probably 15 feet of it right there, plus the back window. And you can see on the right side the little gap there, so I could pull that glass to replace it too, so I will use that. So I'm going to take some time here today and be careful about getting this glass out of here. Again, working by myself. I have a cheap suction cup from Harbor Freight, but I tried it yesterday. I don't trust it, so I'm not going to use that. I'm going to see about a regular pump-up type suction cup that has a little button on the end of it that really holds tight, a couple of them. And I'm kind of hoping I can take it out to the inside, so I could put some cardboard boxes and blankets and stuff, and then slowly just let the glass down on the inside, rather than try to take it out by myself on the outside. So that's the plan. So I'll start fiddling around a little bit. I'm getting kind of a late start. This morning there was a swap meet here in town, so I had to go. There was no option there. You got to go see what you might miss. Didn't buy nothing, good and bad, I guess. So, the task at hand is get this rubber gasket figured out. As soon as I figure out a method for getting this crusty thing out of there, I'll turn the camera back on and let you know. But the task for today is to get just this glass out and get that repair going. And if I can get that thing repaired by the end of the weekend, I'll be happy, because that's the last of the heavy-duty repairs. And then we can really start focusing on more finish activities with it. So we'll check back with you in just a minute. Well, the knife trick worked pretty good, actually. It was just able to, you can see all the parts or scraps on the floor there. I was able just to take a a knife and just cut along the rib in the center and all the way around. I pretty much have that glass exposed. Now these aren't glued into the gaskets, but you know, this thing has been there since 1967. So effectively it's glued in there. So I had this Harbor Freight suction cup thing, and it might be sort of useful for pull a dent or something. I tried it on the glass and not at all comfortable with it. I think these were just like $2-3 or something, or maybe they're even free freebies or something. I can't remember how I ended up with it. But I went back to Harbor Freight to see if they had a good one, because I'm not using this to pull that glass. And they did. They had this aluminum one, and I've snapped it on to the glass, and it holds really good. So I think I'm good to go there. I'll just give you a quick comparison. This one here takes nothing to pull it off. This one here is on there. It's on there good. So we'll find some stupid thing to use that for one of these days. Actually those cheap ones work good for opening and closing the windows in my boat, because they're sliders and they're stiff. So you can see, maybe you can see, I'm getting some movement in the glass. So I'm going to put you on a stand and see if I can get this windshield to break the seal without breaking. That's the key. I mean, I've been just going real slow with it, you know, cutting carefully not to chip a corner, start a crack. But, you know, these things are super risky. And I would at least like to have the option of not replacing them. And I would certainly like to have a pattern if I do replace them. So let me put you up on a stand here and see if I can start to break this thing loose. That's a pretty good view. All right. You know what? I'm going for gloves. Because if it goes, I want my fingers. Right there at the edge. So I'm getting movement all along that side. Seems to stop about right here. Okay, that's moving. Moving down. It's moving. I don't hear anything like it's breaking its seal or anything. I'll bet what's happening is I'm moving the gasket on the inside too. Because it is moving down here, but it's not letting loose. Well, I think I'm going to go in and cut a little gasket material off the inside of the windshield. It's not the funnest place to work, but I think what it's doing right now is it's flexing the whole rubber thing. I also might try to heat the inside up with a heat gun. Maybe it'll break the seal a little bit. It's actually kind of a nice day out. It's probably in the low to mid 40s and the sun's out. It's actually beautiful outside today. But I don't think it's going to be warm enough. If I were to pull it out, it would do any good about heating things up, so I'd let go. But a heat gun might work, so I'm going to go play with it a little bit. I'll check back with you in a while. And we're back. What I ended up doing, I heated up the rubber gasket on this side, and then I took my knife actually from the outside and cut in behind the glass. And then I realized I could do it without heating it up. So I did this side and the bottom. I haven't done the top. The top's pretty well missing anyway, as far as the rubber gasket's concerned. I think we can slip it out. So I've got movement on it now, like with that suction cup. And I've got this little plywood, and I got that blanket laying there. That's where we're gonna put this thing. We get it out of there. And notice how confidently I said, when I get it out of there. So I think it's coming out. I hope it's coming out. I hope it's coming out in one piece. But I've taken my time. Don't hurry these things. I got it to move. Let's see what happens. Wish me luck. There it is. It's moving. Lean up against her here. I'm going to put this in the middle. It's sliding out. It's moving. Carefully. Probably gonna wish I'd have done something like these. Okay, come on. Oh, come on. Out of there. There we go. Some money. Watch me drop it on the way over here. There we go. We got it out. Table falls apart. Well, as you can see now, I got my work cut out for me. I got significant metal rot up here. And it seems to be like multiple layers. So this is an onion I really got to peel to see what I've got. And I've got a little something going on down here. So, I guess this will come out easy enough. There. So much for the gasket. Now I can see what I got. So I got to start cleaning this up a little bit so I can see what I've got to work with. You can see it's double wall there. And there's just a bunch of rust between it, so. Okay. Progress. Progress. We got the glass out. We didn't break it. That's a good deal. That's a good deal. Okay, I'm going to go pick at some of this rust and see what I got to do. There's some structure. That double piece right there is actually a piece of structure. Grind some rivets off. Hopefully I can deal with it, just slip something in there. Okay, I'm rambling. Let's get in there, dive into it, see what we got. I'll check back with you in a little bit. Well, here's a look at inside. This is what we're up against. This piece of structure here is just gone. But it's solid when it gets to here. But the lip is gone to about almost midway. So, you can stare at these things all day. The bottom line is, where it's rotten's got to go. I should probably try to make a template of this. At least tape some cardboard on the outside and draw with that radius. Although I've got the glass, but why not just do a template? So I think I'll do that, and then we're just gonna have to get in here and just start cutting what's rotten. So there's a few pieces going on. So it's doubled up on this side, this piece, and then the sheet metal on the outside. And then we've got this piece here, which is almost the support for the front of this package tray. And then this piece is spot welded to it. And then of course the sheet metal on the outside. So I got multiple pieces of stuff going on here. But, it's just sheet metal. You can't be scared of it. Just cut it out and then figure out how to put something back. It's all weldable, right? These are the rivets that are exposed on the outside. And for now, I don't think I'm going to pull the rivets. I think I'm going to leave them in and work below that sheet metal line. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So there's the rivets, but I think it's okay at the rivet line. It's below the rivet line that we have issues. And of course this is all rotted away. So I'm thinking about cutting this down to here and cutting along the rivet line until we get to where the metal is good again. So somewhere close to, in here, and then cut that out. I actually saved some sheet metal that I pulled out of the inside of this to make these patch panels. So we'll just put all that together and trace it out. Maybe I can just duct tape that together. I'm just thinking about, instead of making a template, let me just duct tape all this together. Let me see what that does. Then I can just cut the sheet metal out and use it as the template. Okay, let's do that. Try it out anyway. And then we'll start cutting. There's no time like the present, right? We'll just start cutting on this baby. All right, I'll check back with you a little bit. Then we gotta look at that. So it's the next day, it's Sunday. I kind of started not actually feeling that well yesterday, so I gave up early and stayed in bed a little extra this morning. I feel a little better, so that's good. So I've cut out this rotted cross member piece. It was really bad. If here I get some light. So I took the whole thing out. It was just like this one that went from the center post to the other side and gave support to the top of the window. So I took it all the way out, and what I'm looking to do is put a piece of flat bar in its place. And what I had was 1 inch wide. So I'm going to go look and see if I can find 1.5 inches wide at the few places in town that would have steel today, and or have to piece something on there. I'd like to keep working on it. So and then if I get it welded back to the body, it'll give it its strength back again, and the gasket for the windshield should go around that. So the rest of the sheet metal, I'm going to walk to the outside here real quick. The rest of the sheet metal at the top of the window was in worse shape than I thought. And I'm going to have to cut most of it, rest of it away. So I'll probably cut it all the way back to that seam right there and just have that flat bar as its top. And if I need to come back in and weld like a piece of angle iron, like lay the angle iron on top of the flat bar and tack it to give it rigidity, I can do that to give it strength. But I should be able to weld it on that center post and weld it on this A-pillar and get that thing decent enough to put the glass back in and get rid of that rust. I've got this down here too. It's not looking good. I'm gonna have to come back over here somewhere and cut that. And maybe it'd be a 1/2 inch wide piece of flat bar to replace that or something, because it's pretty rotten right there in that corner. So it looks like I gotta run downtown, see what I can find, if I can find a piece of 1.5 inch for that. And so I guess that's what I'll do. This is, as you peel away these onions sometimes, this is usually what happens. It ends up to be a little more of a project than you thought. And sometimes you don't get to make the progress that you were hoping for, and that is the case today. But what do? You gotta fix it. We're committed. Can't run around without a window. So I'll go see what I can find, and I'll check back with you in a little bit. Well, I had to hit a couple stores, but I did find 2 inch wide, 1/8 inch flat bar. And I cut all the rest of that rotted piece away, leaving just this. So I guess it's just time to weld that in. I've got it all positioned. I've measured down 100 times. It's perfectly parallel. It's back where it used to be. And then I'll have to cut that sheet metal piece, fit that corner in, and we'll go from there. So let's start welding. I'll check back with you in a little bit. Well, I got that piece of steel welded in there, and I have it ground down a little bit. I have a little more dress up to do, and I still have that corner piece of sheet metal with the radius in it to cut and put in. But I don't know. It's just been kind of difficult place to work, and they're just getting tired of working on it. So one thing I've been wanting to do while I have this in here and have that piece almost completed is to install the custom sun visor that I built more than a year ago. It's just kind of been sitting around in my way, and I thought maybe today's a good day to fab up brackets for it. So I'm going to end the video on this windshield frame replacement, and I'm going to move on to build bracket and install the visor for it and get that piece going. And I'll button this up. It's going to be a couple weeks probably. I'll button this up and go from there. I need help putting the window and stuff in anyway, but it kind of went okay. It really was kind of a pain to because of the rust and welding steel to sheet metal and stuff. It just ends up to be kind of a mess. It's going to take a little Bondo to make it presentable, to tell you the honest truth. But hey, presentable is all we're going for. So guys and gals, thanks a lot for watching and hanging out with me this weekend on this project it really wasn't looking forward to, but we got a pretty good shape. We're pretty close, and it'd just be something I'll get finished up here in a couple weeks, and we'll see you on the next one.